Welcome friends, let us continue with rational numbers. We are going to deal with the decimal representation of the rational numbers. Let us see how we can do that. So, for that we are going to divide numerator by the denominator. So, actual division we have to carry out. So, let us consider the first example 1 upon 2. 1 upon 2 is a rational number. Let us divide 1 by 2 and let us see what do we get. So, first of all 1 is not divisible by 2. So, the first quotient will be 0, 2 zeros are 0, 1 remained, then decimal point and we will take 0 and then it is 2 5s are 10. So, the remainder is 0 means division comes to an end and therefore, the decimal representation of number 1 upon 2 is 0.5. Let us consider 15 upon 2. So, let us actually divide 15 by 2. So, it is 2 7s are 14. 15 minus 14 is 1. We will put a decimal point. We will take 0. After the decimal point, we can take infinite number of zeros. Since we are in 8th standard, we won't show all these zeros. Okay. And then it becomes 2 5s are 10. So, again the remainder is 0 means division comes to an end and hence the decimal representation of number 15 upon 2 is 7.5. Let us see another fraction or the rational number 3 upon 4. So, 3 upon 4 will be 3 divided by 4. Even though numerator is smaller than the denominator, we divide numerator by the denominator and not vice versa. Remember that. So, we are going to divide numerator 3 by the denominator 4. First quotient will be 0. Remainder is 3. We will put a decimal point and we will keep on taking zeros. It is 4 7s are 28. 30 minus 20 it is 2. Again we take down 0. We can take as many zeros as we want after the decimal point and hence it becomes 4 5s are 20. Again the remainder is 0 means the division comes to an end and we get 3 upon 4 is equal to 0.75. Let us consider the next number 79 upon 15. You must be good at tables. When you want to convert the rational numbers into the decimal forms, you must be good in tables. So, if you have by hearted the tables, you will get it easy answer, quick answer. 15 5s are 75, 79 minus 75. Take down 0 after the decimal point. So, we are going to put the decimal point here. 15 3s are 45, so it will go by 2. 15 2s are 30. 40 minus 30 is 10. One more 0. 15 6s are 90. Again the remainder is 10. We take down one more 0. Again we will get 15 6s are 90. Again the remainder is 10. Take down one more 0 and what will happen? Every time you will observe that the remainder becomes 10 and the quotient we will get is 6. So, will this division come to an end? If you are not getting tired, if you have lot of space, you can keep on doing this division hours together and you will find that the remainder never becomes 0. If the remainder becomes 0, turns out to be 0, the division comes to an end. No need to do further division. Here, you will observe that every time the remainder is 10. So, if we take down 0, then again the quotient is 6, again 15 6s are 90, again the remainder will be 10, again 15 6s are 90. So, as many times as you want, you keep on taking zeros, the division will never come to an end because the remainder is going to be the same number 10 and hence every time the quotient is going to be 6. This means in the decimal form of the number 79 upon 15, the division does not come to an end and the quotient 6 is repeated. It occurs over and over again. That is recurs, and that is 79 upon 15 has its decimal form or decimal representation as 5.2666. How many 6? Infinite. So again dot dot dot. The number 6, digit 6 is occurring or recurring over and over again. So we can shortly, how many times we should write 6? Somebody may write 2 times, somebody may write 3 times, someone may write, if he has a patience, keep on writing 6 times, 7 times. But to avoid that, what we will write is the number that appears again and again, we will put a dot on that if it is a single digit occurring over and over again. So the digit 6 is recurring, and therefore to show that it appears over and over again, we will put a dot on top of 6. This will mean that the decimal representation of the number 79 upon 15 is a recurring decimal form, where the answer is 5.26 and 6 with a dot on top of it. That means the 6 is a recurring number, and hence this is the recurring decimal form. Okay, we have come across the first example where the rational number 79 upon 15, of course that was chosen at random, no significance for the number 79 upon 15, okay, which has got recurring decimal form. So here the decimal form of the rational number 79 upon 15 is a recurring decimal form. How can we describe the decimal form of these numbers that we have taken? First 3 examples. No number is repeated, no digit is repeated, but the division comes to an end, and that is, it is terminating. Something comes to an end, to terminate, that means come to an end. Division comes to an end, and therefore it will be called as the terminating decimal form. So this and this, all these are terminating decimal forms of the rational numbers that we have taken. So all these are terminating decimal forms. That means, of course, few more examples we are going to consider where we can get recurring decimal form. But before we proceed with the few more examples, we have come to know that the rational number exists in 2 different decimal forms, or the decimal form of the rational number can be terminating, that means remainder is 0, and another is recurring, where the division does not come to an end, the remainder reappears over and over again, and therefore the quotient also reappears or reoccurs. In this example, only one digit is recurring. We are going to consider few more examples where a group of numbers may appear over and over again, right? But of course, it will be also called as whether a single digit is recurring or a group of digits is recurring, then also it will be called as recurring decimal form. And the recurring decimal form is obviously non-terminating. Does it come to an end? No. And therefore recurring decimal form which is non-terminating. So easy to remember, rational is recurring or recurring is rational, vice versa. So decimal form of a rational number is either terminating or it is recurring. When we say recurring, that non-terminating is hidden inside it. Obviously, it is going to be non-terminating. So let us write that. So the decimal form, let me write decimal form of a rational number is either terminating or it is recurring. I hope you have understood the meaning of recurring, appearing over and over again. Either a single digit or two digits, or you may have a group of digits reappears in the quotient. That means the remainder after a certain stage, same remainders we get. Let us see one more example. So, now rational numbers are those numbers whose decimal form is either terminating or it is recurring. Remember this. So, I am not going to clean this part from the board. We will keep it like that only, and we will see few more examples where we can see or confirm that decimal form of the rational number is either terminating or recurring. Make it sure you have understood. Remember the names or the terminologies. Division comes to an end, remainder is 0, that means terminating. Recurring, reappearing, occurring over and over again, same thing. And so, two terminologies or two new words we have learned. Decimal form of a rational number is either terminating or it is recurring. You can take down these examples. Of course, you can have any example, any fraction or any rational number, and you can try to find out its decimal form by actual. You have to note this, put it in a box. So, rational numbers. Decimal form is what it is? Either terminating, that is division comes to an end, the remainder becomes 0, or it is recurring decimal form. Recurring, when we say recurring, the word non-terminating is hidden into it. So, it is recurring and non-terminating. And if it is terminating, then obviously it is non-recurring, right? So, the rational numbers are terminating or recurring, have terminating or recurring decimal forms. Remember, their decimal forms are either this or of this type, right? Don't forget to use this word decimal form. Otherwise, the whole meaning, the whole sentence becomes meaningless. Rational numbers are not terminating. Rational numbers are not recurring. Decimal forms of rational numbers are either terminating or recurring. So, obviously now, if the decimal form of a number is, here we have either terminating or recurring. If I say neither recurring nor terminating, or neither terminating nor recurring, then do we have such numbers? Do they exist? Yes, the answer is yes. So, if the decimal form of the numbers is neither terminating nor recurring, such numbers, do they exist? And the answer is yes. such numbers whose decimal form is neither terminating nor recurring exist. Shall we call them as rational numbers? The answer is no, obviously, because we have seen that rational numbers exist either in this form or in this form. The decimal forms are either terminating type or they are recurring decimal forms. So, if we have neither recurring nor terminating, obviously they are not rationals. Either recurring or terminating are rational. Neither recurring nor terminating are not rationals. Okay, and not rationals means irrationals, right? So, if the decimal form of a number is neither terminating nor recurring, then it is not a rational number. And all such numbers which are not rational numbers, they are called as irrational numbers. Okay, all such numbers are called as irrational numbers. All such numbers. Such means what? Such means what? Neither terminating nor recurring are called irrational numbers. So, we have learned decimal form of rational numbers. We have seen that decimal form of rational numbers is either terminating or recurring. Let me write either here. So, it is either terminating or recurring, and if decimal form of a number is neither terminating nor recurring, then it is not a rational number. The number which is not a rational is called as irrational number, right? So, you have to remember the terminologies and the basic concept or the basic understanding, right? So, let us see some examples. Of irrational numbers. So, which are the irrational numbers? Let us consider root 1. Is it rational or irrational? So, square root of 1 is 1 or minus 1. So, square root of 1 is 1 or minus 1, and therefore, it is going to be rational, because 1 is an integer. Every integer is a rational number. Square root of 1 can be minus 1 also. Therefore, it is a negative integer, means it is a rational number. So, remember that every integer is a rational number, but not conversely. That you should remember. Means every rational number is not an integer, but every integer is a rational number. Square root of 1 can be positive or negative, that you have learned. So, square root of 1 is 1 or minus 1. Both are integers, and therefore, root 1 is a rational number. Because 1 is a perfect square of 1, 1 is a perfect square of minus 1 also. What about root 2? Do we know the value of root 2? We have not yet learned. We can find it out. We can get the value of root 2, but not at this stage. That we will learn afterwards. But if you find out, so what is our criteria to decide whether it is rational or not? Either it should be, the square root should be an integer, or its decimal form should be terminating or recurring. What is the decimal form of root 2? That we will learn, but at this stage I will tell you that decimal form of root 2 is neither recurring nor terminating, and it is irrational. One more thing you can remember is that 2 is not a perfect square. So, square root of 2 is not going to be an integer. We cannot write 2 as a product of same two numbers, and therefore root 2 is irrational. What about root 3? Is 3 a perfect square? Number 3 is not a perfect square. So, obviously root 3 is going to be irrational. What about root 4? Can we find out square root of 4? Yes, 4 is a perfect square of plus 2, 4 is a perfect square of minus 2. So, square root of 4 is either 2 or it is minus 2. And we know that 2 or minus 2 both are integers. So, square root of 4 is a rational number. Let us proceed. What about square root of 5? It is going to be irrational. What about square root of 6? It is irrational. Square root of 7, square root of 8, all are irrational. Why? Because number 5, number 6, 7 and 8, they are not perfect squares. So, square root of the numbers which are not perfect squares, the numbers which are not perfect squares, 5 is not a perfect square, 6 is not a perfect square, 7 is not a perfect square, 8 is not a perfect square. If you find out the square root of all such numbers which are not perfect squares, here 3 is not a perfect square, 2 is not a perfect square. If you find out square root of all such numbers which are not perfect squares, then you will find that they all turn out to be irrational. What about root 9? 9 is a perfect square of 3 or minus 3. So, root 9 is going to be rational. So, now we can define irrational numbers in some other way. And what is it? Square root of a number which is not a perfect square. So, square root of a number which is not a perfect square is an irrational number, right? What about square root of 121? Is it rational or irrational? So, for that you must have by-hearted squares at least up to 30. So, 121 is a perfect square of 11 or it is a perfect square of minus 11. So, root 121 will be either plus 11 or minus 11, and therefore it is rational. But what about square root of 125? Is 125 a perfect square? Is 125 a perfect square? No. 225 is a perfect square of 15. Most of the students get confused with that. 125 is not a perfect square, and therefore square root of 125 is irrational. So, to find out whether the number is rational or irrational, what you have to check? Two things. If you can convert the given number in the decimal form, and if the decimal form of that number is neither recurring nor terminating, both not, not recurring, not terminating, neither recurring nor terminating, then it is irrational. Or every time, instead of finding out its decimal form, if you check whether the number is not a perfect square. So, if the number is not a perfect square and if you find out its square root, then it is going to be irrational. So, square root of 125 is irrational. Number 125 is rational because 125 is a integer. Every integer is rational, but square root of 125 is irrational. Don't get confused. Under root sign and inside number should be rational, right? If this number under the square root sign, inside the square root sign is not a perfect square, then the whole square root is going to be irrational. So, remember this, and so we can deal with rational and irrational numbers in the next lecture. So, for the time being, you have to remember the decimal form of the rational number and the decimal form of the irrational number. Rational is recurring, RR. You can remember it that way. Or terminating. Neither recurring nor terminating, though both are not, then it is not rational, means irrational. Okay. So, in the next lecture, we will deal with the rational and irrational number.